Doubles and coffee. I tell all you, I would not let it rest. I would not let it slide. Look at the newspapers today. Look at this. Blows for Barry. Express and Guardian, Guardian and Express. Blows for Barry. So I want to know what blows Barry get from Marvin, Marvelous Marva. Marvelous Marva, the worst Minister of Public Utilities in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, who took us down to the lowest ever 24/7 supply to 12% of the population getting 24/7 supply in our houses. A man whose Prime Minister said he found someone who knew nothing about Wasa to put him in charge of Wasa. A minister who oversaw billions of gallons of water being lost through leaks for a sustained period, not even fixing the infrastructure. We would see down in Diego Martin one leak having to be plugged and fixed over 5 times. Marvelous Marvin, who wasted more money at Wasa than any other minister in history, while providing the worst supply to Trinidad and Tobago. If the Salcott, the desalination plant of Trinidad and Tobago, had to go down for maintenance, the entire country from Chaguanas go down to Point 14 would be suffering for water. There were protests for water all over this country over the last 5.5 years under Marvelous Marva. And Marvelous Marva comes out to call a press conference to try to defend a Pnm transformation plan. He says absolutely nothing. The plan was going to remove over 2,000 Wasa workers lose their jobs because of Pnm mismanagement, corruption and wastage. The plan was ripped up by Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Big top-heavy jobs and positions that were created for people who were unqualified and were Pnm people inside and outside all around Wasa. Barry Padarat brought a cabinet note to remove those positions, to save people's jobs, to make Wasa more efficient, to return Wasa to its highs of 2014, to begin that transformation away from Pnm, where 74% of the population under Kamla Prasad Bisesa and Ganga Singh were getting 24/7 supply, 74%. So Marvelous Marva called a press conference. The Pnm don't even know who is the opposition leader. One day is Penny, next thing is Stuart Young, next thing Faris calling press conference. Now Marvelous Marva. So I went to read, what is he trying to say? Marvelous Marva said nothing. He said Barry lie, Barry's a wajank, Barry's all kind of thing, and could not make one claim to try to defend his Pnm transformation plan. He said that Barry Padarat was part of a joint select committee that oversaw, went through the transformation plan. What do I have to do with anything? A joint select committee of the parliament is weighted heavily in favor of the Pnm government. If the committee is 7, there will be 4 Pnm, 2 opposition and 1 independent. That and nothing is the same thing. He could not defend his plan. He could not defend his action. He said that Barry was trying to reverse the gains made by the Pnm at Wasa. What gains? The only thing that increased and improved or got bigger under Marvelous Marva at Wasa is dry tap. It's trucks working. It was fraudulent people trying to sell and take advantage of citizens to sell water. That's what went up. The sacrifice that people had to make to try and get water in their houses. People suffering. Wasa was at its worst under Marvelous Marva. He come out to say absolutely nothing. And then here we get it from the Guardian. Look at this. Blows for Barry. First of all, look at Barry's picture. Barry is the Minister of Public Utilities. Marvelous Marva is a member of the Pnm that was just decimated in an election. But the Guardian puts a big powerful picture of Marvelous Marvin, the failure, and puts the minister under camera in a little baby picture to give you the impression that something powerful about the PNM. And blows for Barry? What blows? Barry took decisions with Kamala to save Wasa workers' jobs, to save Wasa from the incompetence and corruption of the PNM, the nepotism of the PNM. Barry put blows on Pnm Wasa to save and help people's jobs and lives and families and to provide service for the people. So the media, Guardian, is saying that Barry get blows. But the problem is that Barry gave blows for the people. Barry battered the PNM. Barry shut down and shutting down the corruption and nepotism of the PNM. Barry is beginning the transformation of Wasa back to serving the people, to produce water, to save money and to get value for money. Look at now the Express. Blows for Barry. Me, I know if they're sharing headlines or they're just in the same mindset. What abject nonsense. And a picture of Marvelous Marvin, not the minister. So I say this to let you all know. Not this time. This ain't happening. These papers will not get into your mind and affect your mind share. The fact of the matter is that the Honorable Minister Barry Padarat and Kamala Persad-Bissessar and her cabinet of the UNC have taken a decision, the first one of many to come, to improve your lives, to provide you with water, to make you forget the nightmare of Marvelous Marvin Gonzalez, the biggest failure in Wasa history, in public utilities history, who did not know. He went in to be the Minister of Public Utilities, and he did not know that leaks cause people in the hills not to get water, because leaks break pressure, and therefore the water cannot go up the hill. He had to go into Wasa to learn that big dunce called Marvelous Marvin. But also on top of that, Marvin, I thought you was the Minister of National Security when you get a licking on April 28, 2025. So ladies and gentlemen, this is what I tell you. Ignore these pieces of PNM propaganda. Barry Padarat did not get blows. Barry Padarat shattered Marvin Gonzalez, Marvelous Marva, and the PNM's separation plan for Wasa. They attack on workers. They attack on people. They attack on propriety, morality, ethics, and value for money. Barry blew out the PNM. That is the truth. Not Barry get blows from a man who called a press conference, had nothing to say, and say Barry's a wajang. Leave Barry, leave the UNC. We walk in. The people have dealt with you, PNM. Go and study who is all your leader of the opposition. Go and study who go win all your election. Because you all will never win an election again. Because I will stop these lies of these media, this mass media, PNM fake media. Day by day, it's doubles and coffee. The Trini way. Bless.